All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming, and what I decided to do while the last video was producing was to make myself kind of a little template, so now I've got all of the stuff ready. Okay, so the constants for a piece worker, there are going to be 4, so public, static, final, double, min pieces equals 0, public, static, final, I'm sorry, those are ints because that's the number of pieces we had. So that's max pieces equal 100. So the most pieces you can make, be it in an hour or whatever, would be 0. The least would be 0 and the most would be 100. Price per piece, the minimum, it's got to be worth something. So we'll put in 0.01. Nice to spell it correctly, wouldn't it? All right, so those are our constants. Again, we're going to have a constructor that basically does nothing. And we're going to have our calculation method. That's an int, not a double. Let's steal this from the last one. Now I gotta copy that over again. We don't have to format the pieces. So again, real quickly here, this file is everything specific to a piece worker employee. In other words, how to create or calculate their gross pay. The pieces made must be between 0 and 100, arbitrary values I came up with, and the price per piece between a penny and $1. The gross pay then is, we don't need this, simply pieces made times price per piece. Okay, so we've got min pieces 0, max pieces 100, min price per piece a penny, max price per piece $1. Constructor that does nothing, our gross pay result. Gross is just, again, pieces times price, and then gross equal the number of pieces they made. Oops, that's pieces. Plus pieces plus pieces made, and then the price per piece. That's it. And then we have to, like we did in here, return that. And that's it. So that's the second one. Just save all. So this is a salaried employee. Let's do commission next. All right. Where the rate must be between 0.0 and 0.3, in other words, 0% and 30%. And the sales made must be between 0 and 100,000. Gross pay is rate times sales. Constants. Yeah, I'm going to shift and move these over a little bit. Yep. There we go. Again, our constructor. Will just be public piece commission calculator. And our method, just grab the last one we had. Of course, we have to make changes to it, but oops. Let's grab all of it. Screw that up. There. So this is going to be a double rate and a double sales. And that will be rate times sales. And a gross equals string.format, format .2, rate sales sales amount. Okay, so that's that one. And then finally, the salary, which is simple, must be between 0 and 100,000. There is no calculation. All right, so our constant, public static double min salary equals 0.00 public static double max salary equals 100,000.00. There we go. Instructor public salary calculator in the calculation method. Again, I'm just going to grab this one. Of course, it'll have to be updated, but that's okay. And this will just be double salary. There. And that should be everything as far as those. Now I've got the 4 classes done. So I've got my hourly calculator, my piece worker calculator, my commission worker calculator, and my salary worker calculator. All right, so those 4 are done. A couple more here I wanted to do, and let's see where I am for time. 12 minutes, so I'm fine. All right, I wanted to do an employee type and then the gross pay result. Okay. So let's do the employee type next. So this file defines an enumeration, also known as an enum, this is a special Java type used for a small fixed set of named constant values. I'm going to leave it like that. Okay. So, public enum, just going to call it what it is, employee type. We're going to have hourly, which is going to be for an hourly employee. Piece worker, which will be for a piece worker employee. Commission, which will be for a commission employee. And salaried. which will be for a salaried employee. Okay. We're going to have a field in here. Each enum is going to have its own private copy of display. It'll be set in the constructor. So private, final, string, display. Let's do the constructor. And that'll be make the elements private or public. I don't remember. Public static. I don't think this will really have to be, but we're going to do it anyway. Employee type. Enum constructors, I think, have to be private. All right. I think that's a rule of the language. So I think I'd get an error if I try doing this. I don't think they can be static either. I'm just going to say private. Employee type. So this constructor, all it'll do is it'll run once for each of the 4 constants defined at the top of the file, and it'll store the given display text. Okay. We're going to have in here a getter. And we're also going to do an override here of the toString method. Now, toString is one of the built-in Java methods. All right. For an enum, we just want to print the contents programmatic name. You know, it do that not, but it won't be in a really friendly manner. So we're just going to return the display. Like that. All right, so that's done. Then there's a gross pay result. Which again is fairly small. So this file is a, we'll call it a data holder class. Its job is to bundle together 2 related pieces of information. That are always paired. 1 will be the actual gross pay. How about the actual calculated gross pay? And 2 will be the message showing how that gross pay was calculated. All right, this is not very big, so public class gross pay result. We need our constructor. And we'll have a getter for each one of these. Not there. Guess it would be there. Public double get gross pay. And that's it. I think I'm going to just make these the same. So let's call these gross pay and message. Why? Because it's usually done like that. Jeez, Jeff. All right. So as of right now, we've got 10 files, and I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. All right. In the next video, which I'm not going to do tonight, I'd like to try to do tomorrow, but we'll see. I want to do the validation and the validation result. Then in the video after that, I'd like to do the payroll state, and then we'll need several videos for main. All right, so that's where it stands right now. Talk to you later.